Hello, students of the Earth. I'm Exalt, here with you as both a learner and a guide on this journey towards self-improvement. And today's short topic is about how to do the hard things first so you can transform your life. The story that I'm going to relate it to today was yesterday, my girlfriend and we were driving home. We had food in the car, very excited to eat it, but we passed by the lake. The lake we always swim in, it's beautiful, but today the wind was howling and it was freezing cold. And I looked at the lake and I remember looking at my girlfriend and saying, wow, there's no way I'm getting in there. It's so cold. There is nothing I'd like to do less right now than go in that lake. But as I was saying it, something clicked, and I knew that if I could force myself to face that discomfort, I'd actually come out stronger. So we pulled over, walked down to the lake, and I took a deep breath and I plunged into the icy cold water of the lake, which was obviously shocking at first. But as I got out, I had a very strange sense of accomplishment and self-efficacy that just washed over me. Now, doing things that are hard and uncomfortable not only boost your confidence, but they also have physical benefits. For instance, in this case, cold therapy. Cold exposure releases and reduces inflammation, and it will boost your immune system through the release of epinephrines, which is adrenaline. And when I got out, I just felt invigorated and ready to take on any challenge. So actually, let's talk about the science behind cold therapy within my example. Even though it's not about the context of the video, it's more about relating it to a responsibility as opposed to an impulsive thought just to get in the lake. So the Wim Hof method, which is the staple for cold therapy, it combines cold therapy, breathing techniques, and meditation. And studies have shown that this method can actually increase your willpower. It will reduce your stress and strengthen your immune system. So actually, an interesting study by the Proceedings of National Science found that participants participating within the Wim Hof method excelled in increased levels of epinephrine, which boosted their immune response. And as we talked about, epinephrine is that adrenaline that surges through your veins as you go into this cold water. So it obviously then increases your resilience afterwards, and it also has many other physical benefits. So it activates your brown fat, it increases your metabolism, and improves your insulin sensitivity. So it's not just that mental resilience of getting into the cold water, you're just doing wonders for your body as well. Now, actually, another recent story of mine, kind of related to the topic of this video, is about today. And it started with a simple task, which was to put up some shelves. And as I was doing this, we went to the shop, we bought a big circular saw that I was very proud of, and I did some metal cutting. I was very pleased with all that. And it turns out the one thing that I was missing was this one tiny screw, and it completely derailed my plans. I got very frustrated. I felt unproductive. All I wanted to do was fix those shelves, but I was completely stuck. And in that moment, my girlfriend said, sit down, focus, just have a moment, have a breather. I don't want to see you stumbling around, feeling unproductive, doing nothing. And as I did that, I remembered that I had a responsibility today, and it was to create this very video. And exactly the same as the lake, I looked at that and said, I don't really want to do it. And at first I actually really found the idea distasteful. Making the video today, I think because it's a responsibility, because I felt forced to do it, even though I want to make the video, my mind just has this mental block, and so do most people, where they think because it's a responsibility, they want to do it less. And I felt like putting it off until the last possible moment, until 11 p.m., 12 p.m., and just rushing it out. But as you can see, it's still daylight outside, and I'm very pleased with that. So, it hit me then that about responsibilities, and they don't get easier when you delay them. As a matter of fact, obviously, the longer you wait, the harder they seem, because now it seems like an impossible task, something that should have taken you an hour and been done yesterday. It's now been a week, and even though it'll only take an hour, you've got that entire week of dread built up with it. So I decided in the midst of all this frustration, that my best course of action was to have another ice bath, because I knew the benefits that that provided to me. So I have a little cold plunge set up in my front garden, and I took an ice bath, and as I immersed myself in the cold water, I meditated and my mind just cleared. And it's this entire concept is about kind of slowing down to speed up. And as I got that clarity, I refocused on what needed to be done, which was actually making this video. And I should have done this video in the morning, really, because it's a responsibility. And if you do that responsibility and you do it first thing, you set your day up right. So the ice bath just helped me reset. And even though it was uncomfortable, it just reminded me of the power of facing challenges head on. And the meditation just further helps me to kind of regain that clarity and determination. And I emerged from that experience with just a renewed sense of purpose and understanding of how I wanted to spend my day. So I want to talk about the logic behind this approach. And it's a concept popularized by Brian Tracy, who is a very, very important figure of mine, introduced by a therapist that I was seeing at one point. The concept is called Eat That Frog. And the idea is to tackle your most challenging task first thing in the morning, which is just going to set a positive tone for the rest of the day. And it's backed by research from the University of California in Berkeley. And it says that they studied this and found that tackling difficult tasks first thing will just increase your overall productivity and reduce your stress and procrastination by building that momentum as you wake up. So here are some practical tips I can give you to help you embrace this mindset. And it's by starting out the day each morning by writing down the hardest task you need to complete that day. Now, I've not been on top of my daily journal, but I have I call it my priority task. And I have 5 things that I list out, and then I highlight and put an asterisk on the most important one. So make it your priority to tackle this task first in the day. And I use, to build on that, I have these 5 other tasks, but even if I've done my priority task, if I can tick that off, it really is a good feeling. And my priority task today would have been my responsibility to make this video. And I can tick that off, and even if the rest of the day just kind of doesn't go to plan, I know that I've done my responsibility, I've done my bit, and that generates a very unique sense of purpose and well-being. Another practical advice and a tip that you can take to help you embrace the mindset is to use discomfort to build that resilience. And if you incorporate some small acts of discomfort into your daily routine, you will actually build that resilience over time so that you can move forward in the tasks with ease. For example, getting in a cold plunge is in theory a lot harder than making this video, but I did it anyway. And that really emphasized the fact that these small acts of discomfort in your daily routine are just going to build that resilience and make you an overall more effective and self-efficacious, or improve your self-efficacy. Another thing that you can try would be practicing meditation, which is something I did today that clearly worked out and fixed my productivity lapse, right? So practicing that meditation and daily, it can just increase your focus. And when you're focusing on, for instance, what I was doing in the ice bath was working on my breathing, focusing on my breathing. And as I would breathe out, I would move my body. And when I breathed in, I had this very calming sense. When you move your body in cold water all the hot air bubbles, they rise to the surface. So you have this layer of heat around you. When you move your body in the cold water, it feels very, very cold. It's easy just to sit in there and be still. And that's what I was meditating on trying to do, is focus on my breathing and relating that into, you know, into moving my body and making things a little bit harder for myself in a very controlled way. And if you try this like way of meditating, not in discomfort, it doesn't have to be at the same time, but try meditating after completing a hard task as well as before, just to help reset your mind and help you focus on the next thing. It's almost like just a breather. It is a breather, and it will just reset your focus, and you'll regain your momentum. And another thing I should focus on, some practical advice I can give you, is reflecting on your wins. As I did after I got out of my ice bath and out of the lake today, I felt great. I felt an immense sense of accomplishment, and just take that moment to reflect on how completing these hard tasks make you feel, just generally your well-being, and celebrate those small victories just to boost your confidence over time. So my challenge to you today is to think of something you're dreading today and to tackle it head on. And it might be uncomfortable at first, but the sense of accomplishment that you'll feel afterward is entirely worth it. So to summarize, doing hard things is going to build character. It will enhance your focus, and it will make the other tasks just easier. And if you implement these ideas into your daily life, watch how they transform your productivity and your overall mindset. So the 4 practical tips: identify the hardest task, use discomfort to build resilience, practice meditation regularly, and reflect on your wins. Implement them into your daily life and watch how they transform your productivity and mindset. Anyhow, thank you for watching. Share your experiences in the comments below, and let's grow together by embracing the hard things first. I've been Exalt on Outwit Yourself. Thank you very much for watching.